We are gearing up here for our biggest Christmas season yet. I'm going to give you a quick tour real quick of the tree lot area, at least what we have set up so far. A couple things that I'm doing a little different this year, and a couple things that I have learned about selling trees over the past 2 years that we're adjusting for this year, so stick around. So our trees were delivered today. I had some help here unloading the truck. I didn't film any of that because I don't have video releases for the people that were here helping. So, and I didn't feel like asking them. It's just, you know, when you're doing stuff like that, it's just time to get to work and do the work and get it done. So now the sun is going down, I can give us a quick recap here of what is going on. So in the past couple years, each of the past 2 years, we've been selling trees. This year we have almost twice as many trees coming in as we had last year. So no doubt, is it going to be our biggest season yet. So all right here, I have 6 to 8 foot Fraser firs, a couple little 3-4 foot things right there. I ordered some 4 to 5 foot trees. They sent me, I mean, if they're over 4, they're a speck over 4. But anyway, there's only a couple of those. And then I have some big trees that we're getting out of Maine, all 8 to, what are they, 8 to 13, 14 feet. They're not really measured. They're all just 8 plus. And some of them are quite large, like 200-pound trees. And some are, you know, just a hair over 8, and they all, from what I've seen so far, look pretty good. So we're pretty pleased with that. It was a long trip up to Maine to go get those trees, but I think it is going to be well worth it. Just like we've done in previous years, we put posts into the ground, and we're going to have a lot of trees on display just by sliding the tree over top the post. If you keep the post close to the trunk, the tree tends to hold on to that pretty good. Sometimes the wind will blow them off. Sometimes we have to tie them on, but for the most part, trees will just stand up over these posts. And I've got some up and down the driveway there. I've got some over this way. We still need to set up our big merchandise tent, which is under that green tarp. And that's going to be up in that general vicinity up there. And I'm kind of waiting until it's in place before we put some more display posts around the tent. As we move down the hill here, I built these racks. These are brand new for me. These racks are made out of just a simple pallet, 2x4. We did drive a T-post into the ground here to hold this, but once you have the T-post in the ground and you put a screw in the 2x4, this is pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. I think we can get at least 3, maybe 4 trees on each section in between the pallet. These metal racks are new for us this year. These cost us about 10 bucks a piece. I got 20 of them. We'll see how they work. I've tested it out on a couple of trees. I think they're going to work better on the smaller trees, you know, around 8-9 foot tops and lower. I don't think they're going to work that great on the really big trees, but we'll see. And I have right now just one metal thing on each section. I think I can probably do more than that, but like I said, I only have 20 of those. Some of them are up on my fence up there. Let me go show you those. All right, all of our largest trees will be displayed along this fence line here, and we have more of those metal racks here. Like I mentioned, I don't think these are going to work as good for some of the larger trees, so we'll probably take some off of this fence line and put them down on those pallet racks. And then along this fence line, maybe where the posts are, we'll put a 2x4 and we'll have it stick out so the trees can just lean up against the fence and lean up against the 2x4s that are sticking out. That's going to be some last minute setup as we're putting the trees out. We'll figure out what the best approach is with that. But the biggest trees will be right up here. The big trees always sell first in our experience. We have a couple dozen trees over 8 feet, and that is it. So we want them kind of up here front and center, plus some of them are quite heavy, so we don't want to have to drag them up the hill. So this is the nearest point at which people exit, right over there. And then further down our hill here, as people get closer to our pond, we're going to have a couple different photo ops set up along the pond or along this hedge over here. And you can see over there, there is a hay wagon full of trees right there. Those are all 7 to 8 foot Frasers parked over there because it gets shade over there. And that's the best I can do. And over there we've got our fire pit. The fire pit is a focal point for our events here. It is 6 foot by 6 foot square, actually almost 6.5 foot. It's quite large. We have a big roaring fire in there all day, and we sell s'more kits that are a huge hit with all the kids. And this is going to be our hot chocolate and s'more selling area. We've got a little desk out here. This will actually be inside the tent. Kids can write letters to Santa, and we'll send those off. And I think that's all that goes on in this tent. I can't remember. Yeah, s'mores and hot chocolate. But here's what I learned about this tent. If you have this style of tent where, you know, these poles, they just go together, it's just a slip fit in each of these corner junctions, these tents really aren't made to be outside for long periods of time. And the wind that we get here on this hilltop, it's a little breezy today, though it's died down here as evening approaches. This tent really gets blown around. It really concerns me because I don't want this tent to get destroyed before we need it for selling season. So here's what I did. I saw a tent. We actually went to a vineyard not long ago. They had a commercial quality heavy duty tent, and it had metal guy wires across from one side to the other. And I thought, that's a good idea. I know why they're doing that. They're doing that because it's going to tie the two sides together, and it's really going to pull the whole tent together and keep it really tight and not let it flex around so much. So this tent now, if I give this thing a shake, this thing is super tight and way tighter than it's ever been. And this tent will have a front and a back on it. Right now we're just leaving it open to let the wind blow through, but once we set up for selling season, it'll have a front and a back on it. The front will be open while we're open for business, and we'll close it at the end of each day. But anyway, I think these guy wires are really going to help. I feel a lot better about leaving this up for weeks on end. And our bigger tent is from the same company, though it's supposed to be slightly heavier duty because it's an 18 by 27 tent. I think they use like thicker gauge poles or something. So I'll end up doing the exact same thing on the bigger tent because I'm equally as concerned about it holding up in the wind as I am this tent. Last year we did a bunch on our tree lot with lighting, and we were open in the evening some. But as I got to looking at our sales reports and the time of day, we really didn't do much after dark. So I have very little in terms of lighting, and the lighting that I have here is really more for security than anything, though there are a couple dates in December when we're going to be doing some wreath classes out here, and we'll use the lighting for when people are coming and going for that. But we have these big lights on poles, and you might also see up there, I did put one of our Wise security cameras up there that can be monitored, over Wi-Fi, so I can get an alert if anybody's coming and going. We don't have a history of anybody trying to get in here, but at least I can keep a close eye on that. And then we've got another camera down in the shed, and I might get another one and point it somewhere else. But point being, we're kind of well monitored here, and we can monitor it remotely. So I feel good that everything that we've got set up out here will stay good and safe. So we've got one light pole here. It's got lights facing in both directions. We've got another light pole that'll be off in that far corner. It'll have a big, I forget what it is, 10,000 lumen or something, spotlight on it, focusing downhill. We'll have another one over there by the camper with a couple lower power lights, one facing in this direction, one in that, and then another one on the other side of the tent facing downhill. So if it ends up getting dark here, I don't think it really will. We plan on closing down at 5. But if we need the light out here, we'll have the light. And I know we could be working and restocking and making wreaths in the evening hours, so we've got plenty of light out here to do what we need for that too. I've got some other things I want to share with you guys. I'm going to save it for a future video. We've got some new products that we're going to be selling this year for the first time. We have a custom blend of coffee again, like we did last year, some Woods Tree Farm coffee, and you guys will be able to order that online if you want. And I don't know, it's a handful of other things, a couple new photo ops coming. So anyway, I'll do at least one more video before we open for the season to kind of give you guys a full walkthrough of everything set up and some of those new products and all that. So you guys can stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about what we do or what we are doing out here for this season, then you let me know that in the comments. I'll see you on the next video. Hope you have a good one. Bye.